So if you ever plan to build an enterprise application, either by taking a loan or by selling your father's hard-earned assets into bearing the server costs, the crucial part in it is to understand and to choose the right databases as per your application need. And if you ever dare to take this action for granted by randomly deploying your mini cat project onto any of the databases, and if with God's grace it grows and people all over the world starts downloading it, you have to either sell your whole properties of your family and all the assets that you have to bear that server cost, and still you won't be able to figure out that why your application server cost is getting so high that you barely able to manage it. And finally at the last you have to close and shut down your project and have to live with your family on streets. Or on the best case scenario, with the same situation, you will still move out from your house but in a bigger house with more luxuries because you just managed to create a money-making machine. Is this sound to you controversial? Well, it is. This all depends upon how you manage your continuously growing data so that it doesn't compel you to sell everything that you have and live on a street. And guess what? Relational databases are notoriously famous for this thing, that it gets heavier and heavier onto your pockets if you fail to understand its efficient use cases for your application. Hi, my name is Darshan and welcome to the another part of Gist of AWS series. And in this video, we will understand a sub-service of AWS database services, which is Amazon RDS. And guess what? RDS is also filled with such stories onto internet that how it made developers and companies take out tears of blood. RDS stands for Relational Database Services provided by AWS, and it supports almost all major relational databases around the world: SQL, Postgres, MariaDB, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2. The advantage that we have here with RDS is that it is managed by AWS. Means that maintenance of your database servers and patching of your DB engine is done by AWS database professionals. The infrastructure on top of which RDS resides is immensely scalable and secure. All you have to take care is to allocate required resources as per your application need and to choose your preferred DB engine. The biggest advantage with RDS in AWS that we have is that it is intercompatible with all the other services that AWS provides. So if you ever plan to build your backend infrastructure onto AWS, or if you already have it, RDS can be easily integrated into your ongoing concurrent backend infrastructure that is onto your AWS. And it is very smooth and very simple process to integrate it with your ongoing services that you use on AWS. The other advantage that we have with RDS is that it is immensely scalable and with managing that millisecond latency timeline. Only if you have your data model predefined for your application, you can host your application using relational databases, in this case RDS, and you don't have to take care about the speed and latency of your application because relational database in itself is scalably proof. But with greater advantage, we also have some trade-offs. And this is not just about RDS or AWS. In general, this is about the relational database in itself. As we talk, relational database in itself is very efficient in terms of scaling. But there is this one concept comes under database, which is database sharding, which basically plays a role while scaling your database if your application requirement of user data and user management gets increased. Now, in general, this is the problem of relational database system in itself. But AWS tries its best to minimize this problem by providing you features in RDS like multi-AZ deployment, read replicas, RDS proxy, RDS blue-green deployment. But later in the RDS journey in AWS, the way AWS played its best shot in mitigating this problem of relational database is by providing their own created relational database, which is Amazon Aurora, or you can say AWS Aurora. Now, unlike other DB engines in RDS, Aurora from scratch or from day one is scalable ready and is fully managed by AWS, which means that it also provides you a serverless option. And let me tell you, this is a very big challenge in relational database, which all over the world, all over the companies around the world is trying to mitigate. But AWS tried its best way to give market a solution related to this problem. One other player in the market which is also trying to solve this same problem, which is CockroachDB. You can also check it out. Now, as I give you the gist of RDS, it is always a wise choice to refer AWS official documentation for deeper understanding of these kinds of concepts. And with that, if you find this video useful, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with your friends so that they can also get a daily dose of AWS.